Hey there, everyone. Today, I wanted to ask Spirit a very specific question. And it was as a result of an experience that I had today that was very powerful. And basically, what I wanted to tap into was how we can tap into this guidance more consistently and more often. So, I'll start off with what happened. So essentially, I have what Abraham Hicks would say is a contrasting situation. So, a situation I don't want to have is a conflict with two family members. So, it's not a desired situation. And I really wanted to ask for some guidance around this because basically, what I believe is that I think that there is a solution which would be the best solution for all parties involved. However, I'm open to other solutions. So I basically said, or this solution or something better. If spirit or my higher self thinks that there is an option which is better for everyone involved, then I'm happy to explore that one. But first of all, I wanted to go with that particular outcome. And so what I was looking for was basically some sort of guidance as to how to move forward, like an inspired action. What should I do as my next step? I don't know where this will take me, but I want to feel confident with my next step. So basically, what I did this morning was I've been doing for a couple of days has been sending love to these people and these family members and the situation in itself. And I've kind of been sending what came up in my meditation when I saw them was not just those people as they are today, but I saw an image of their 7 or 8 year old selves, like within that body, and I sent love to that particular version of them, like the child version of them, because I think we're all different as children. And I did send love to them, despite the fact that what they've done is perhaps not the nicest thing that they could do to me as a family member. But I did send love. And after that meditation, I received guidance as to the next best step to take. And strategically, it was a really good idea. Even checked it with ChatGPT from a legal perspective and said, "Look, I'm thinking of doing this. What do you think?" And it came back and said basically, "Well, that's a very good idea for this and this and this and this reason." So for me, it was like really good guidance. And I was just in awe, about how good it was, and because I had no idea how to approach this issue, and it's been going well. It came to my attention or to my knowledge about a week ago, and I had no idea how to address this and how to get out of this hole. I did not know how I could see any light at the end of the tunnel. And this next step really seems to me a very, very good idea for multiple reasons. And so I obviously didn't know that. I don't attribute myself any merit for getting that idea. I do attribute the merit totally to my higher self, spirit, source, whatever you want to call it, God. So my question is, how can we tap in to this amazing guidance on a more consistent basis? Because I have the feeling that we often try to solve things mentally, and that's something I was really trying to avoid with this situation. I really tried not to worry, not to mentally think about how to do this. I really, really did make an effort not to do it, but even I wasn't making an effort to try to figure it out mentally, but I did not have any guidance as to what to actually do. And in the end, you do have to take some action. Okay, this is particularly a situation where I do have to take some action. I have to. So I mean, for legal reasons. So I realized that I really had to move forward very carefully, and I wanted some. I didn't ask specific. Well, I've been asking for specific guidance, but I didn't ask for it like before this meditation this morning, I have been asking for a few days for some guidance around this because I really didn't know how to approach it. So back to my question for spirit is I appreciate the guidance that came through. I think it is really valuable. I think it makes a lot of sense. And so my question is, how can we do this more often? How can we tap into this guidance more often? Knowing that, knowing that or believing that before we came into this experience, I think that we did come in feeling or knowing that we would be guided in difficult situations. And so, if that's the case, how can we tap into this guidance more often so that we feel that we are doing or taking the steps which are aligned with our highest timeline and is basically an expression of who we are, so that we really are taking the steps most aligned with the truth of who we are, and also aligned with keeping us on the highest timeline. So let's see what comes through, because I am eager to, I'm really eager to keep this system modality occurring more often, and so that we don't feel lost and we do receive this guidance on a more consistent basis. So let's see what comes through. Greetings, dear one. We are so glad that you've made time for us, and as always, we're happy to answer any questions that you may have. This need for guidance always comes from this pattern that you always feel that there is someone external to you or something external to you that you need guidance from, that somehow you can't trust something from within to give you that guidance. And so you look for external people, you look for books, information, external things to validate what your internal knowing already has defined for you. And that's okay. It's part of a patterning that you are learning to grow out of. And in order to grow out of the patterning, you have to increase your confidence in the information that comes through you from within you. And as you gradually increase your confidence around the information that comes from within you, then you will be more willing to tap into that information. In essence, the information is really always there. It's just that you don't give it a priority. You don't prioritize that information. You prioritize external information because you think that the information within you is less valuable, less trustworthy than the information that comes from the outside, from either external resources, books, or people. So in this situation, it wasn't really that you tapped into information that wasn't there before. It's just that you were prepared to listen to that information and you were looking for that information and you surrendered to the information coming through whenever the information was ready to come through. It didn't need to be necessarily because you were sending love to people or the situation in and of itself, but you were prepared to wait for that internal guidance to give you the right information and the right inspiration as to how to move forward in this situation for the benefit of all involved. So remember that the information that comes through is always there. It's a question of whether you are prepared to give that information from within its rightful place as a priority. Always check the information that comes from within first. If you require the validation of external people, external resources, books, or whatever is available externally, do so. It's okay. It's okay to contrast information. But if you give the information that comes from within a rightful place and you honor that information and you trust the information and you are prepared to follow the information on your journey, then it will come through because this information, this intelligence that's coming through you understands that you value it and that you hold out your hand, surrender yourself, so to speak, and are open to doing what comes through if you feel it is your truth and it is aligned with who you really are, even if it requires the coordination, communication with others on this journey, but you honor what comes from within. And that's very important because if your soul, your spirit understands that you are truly honoring what comes through, it will come through because it understands that you are going to make every effort possible to ensure that you take the steps that spirit guides you to in any given situation because you know from within that that is aligned with the truth of who you are and it is the best thing that you can do, and you understand that it is the best thing that you can do for you at this particular time, and you are prepared not just to take this first step, but you are also prepared to listen carefully for any future steps that come up as they arise, because remember, we are co-creating a reality here. So this step may seem like a logical step, but as things move forward and other people make their own decisions, you may need to take other different steps. But for the time being, you are prepared to listen to what your inner soul, your inner knowing dictates as the next perfect step for you. And therefore, when the situation arises, you can be confident that it will guide you to the next perfect step for you based on what occurs in reality. And you can have that confidence because you are honoring what's inside of you. And so there's nothing you need to do. There's no particular meditation or focus that you need to have in order to be able to tap into this intelligence. You just need to surrender to a certain extent. Surrender yourself to allowing that which comes from within, that inner knowing, to guide you to the next step and to be fully present to what it has to say and to honor that, even if it requires you to contrast that information with others, that you're prepared to honor what comes through. And if you are prepared to do that, then the information will come through when it's the right time. It may not come exactly in the second that you ask, but it will come through as either a knowing. It might come in through a meditation, it might come through a video, it might come through a book, it might come through a different person. But rest assured that the information will come through. And with that, we are complete. Well, okay. I'm glad it wasn't the meditation then. So I understand that it was I think the intention to really ask what's the right next step for me in this situation in order to bring it to a resolution which is in the best interest of everyone involved. So I'm glad that that's what it takes. So there you go. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. Thank you for joining and subscribing, giving me a like. If you like this content, I'm really excited to bring more things through, and your comments and subscription and your likes really do encourage me to keep bringing in more information and sharing my experiences in the hope that it will inspire you on your own personal growth journey. So thank you again for listening. Much love to you all.